throughout social media. We'll get you out here before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get bets for these games tonight in the primetime hour. And of course, that's what you're going to drive through Monday to Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Is Driver Live Sports Space for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. To deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Play. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. With us is Matt Fargo with us, Rod Zawacky, it's Joey Tron, Chris Ruffolo, the birthday boy is here with us. Chris, happy birthday to Chris. And of course, Kirk Stuart as well. Wayne will also sign in a little later. Here's how the lineup for this evening. Ruffolo, Stewart, Fargo, Scott, Tron, Zawacky, then I will close this one out. Still in the All-Star break here. A few going on here. WNBA game still on the board. Some action from Summer League. But we're going to, a strong focus on football today. College football season win totals. We also have a couple NFL season win totals. So get ready. It's time for that time of the year where we got to start studying these teams, studying these coaches. And well, let's get this one underway. Let's welcome in Chris Ruffolo. You catch him over at Pick Dog Premium. Be looking at an SEC team that's on the rise. We'll see if they can continue that rise. Sometimes we see teams, programs like this rise and fall, but we'll see. We'll see if they can keep that rise going. Chris, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. Yeah, like you said, there's just not a whole lot going on. Today and tomorrow are the tough days. We still thankfully had 2 WNBA games to talk about today, but tomorrow it's going to be a trudge. It's gonna be tough, but we'll find a way to get through it.
We're pros here. We know what to do. We got NFL, college football. We know we're just swing right, turn the page, get right on to the next sport here, and we're ready to roll. We've got a bunch of professionals here. We're ready to go. Chris has for his birthday. Everybody there knows. We've talked about it early in the show, but tonight, college football going to the SEC team, a team that's on the rise here.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. I was kind of blanked out for a second. You mentioned me and professional in the same sentence. I wasn't used to it. We're looking at Missouri here. A Missouri, a team that closed out the year strong, like you mentioned, Tony, last year. I mean, last year's Missouri Tigers season had it all. They had a nail-biter win over Middle Tennessee. They won on a walk-off 61-yard field goal against Kansas State. They almost beat LSU if it wasn't for a couple of late touchdowns from the Tigers. They lost to number 1 ranked Georgia, but this was a really, really solid 11-win team at the end of the year. I think Eli Drinkwitz has another solid team here. He brings back Brady Cook at court. He brings back Luther Burden to star receiver. The defense is pretty much, transfer loaded. But the big thing for me, the concern was losing Cody Schrader to the NFL. He was 8th in Heisman voting. He had over 1,600 rushing yards, 14 touchdowns. What do? They go out and get what, in my opinion, was one of the more underrated and maybe diamond in the rough running backs last year, Marcus Carroll from Georgia State. And the more important thing for me, in an SEC that is in flux with the addition of Texas and Oklahoma, I think that the door is wide open for Missouri to crack the college football playoff. And with the total set at 9.5 and getting some nice plus money on it, I like it. I mean, they've got a pretty, I would say, easier start to the schedule. They got Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, and Vanderbilt. You got a road game against Texas A&M and then UMass. So you should be 5-1. And they avoid Florida, they avoid Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Ole Miss. So they avoid some of the big guns in the SEC. I think this team can easily get to 10 wins, if not 11, and potentially put themselves in a spot in the SEC title game. I really like this Missouri team this year. So I'm going to go with Missouri over 9.5 wins at plus 140.
All right, Chris, let's go Missouri over 9.5 wins here, plus 140 here as we look here at, as you mentioned here with their schedule, it closes down here after Oklahoma, South Carolina, Mississippi State, and Arkansas. So a little bit of breathing room there. Of course, Alabama, that's the big question mark, what this team's going to look like.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of why I have them with some wiggle room, I think, at 2 losses, because the tough ones are going to be at Texas A&M and at Alabama. Everything else, to me, is a coin flip. You face 7 teams that missed out on bowls last year. So, and to me, they're outside of, obviously the moves we talk about, like no Nick Saban in Alabama and some of the transfers we talk about. There really wasn't a lot that happened in the SEC transfer portal, outside of the occasional big move here and there. Enough for me to shake me off of the Tigers here. I've even put in a future on the Tigers to make the playoffs. They got it plus 200, and to win the SEC at plus 1,500. I really like this Missouri team.
Yeah, on both sides, points for, points against, pretty solid there, holding teams at 22 points a game playing that SEC.
Yeah, the big, and that's even considering the fact they gave up 49 to LSU. They even gave up 30 to Georgia, and those were just the 2 losses. I mean, they went toe-to-toe with Florida. They went toe-to-toe with, Even Arkansas had a down year, but they went on the road and beat up on Kentucky. It was having a good year last year. Memphis, they put the boots to South Carolina and a top 15 ranked Tennessee team at the time. So I think that the sky's the limit for Missouri this year.
Yeah, and of course, you fit in Murray State, Buffalo, and UMass. That's a pretty weak non-conference. Of course, I don't know how much that's going to help them because, you get in these log jams, right, especially now with this 12-team playoff. Do you see them as a team solidly in? Do you see as a team really a bubble in this? How do you see them getting in the playoff picture?
It is a weak non-conference schedule. I will concede that. But the thing is, I think Missouri is one of those teams that is just simply banking on the fact that the SEC seems to have gotten tougher with the addition of Oklahoma and Texas. At least on the surface. The name brand only gets strengthened by the addition of Oklahoma and Texas. I think that they're just trying to rely on that and the quote-unquote prestige of what the SEC is bringing. Even though they don't have, like I said, they avoid Georgia, they avoid Florida, Ole Miss, and teams like that, but they still play at Auburn, at Texas A&M, and if those are the two losses on your schedule, it's there. I think there's still enough there that Missouri can get in over other teams. And like I said, and style points are going to be huge. I think they're going to be able to, with the offense that they have, they're going to be able to put up style points against teams like your Auburns, which I think is going to have a down year. They've even got a home game against Oklahoma as well, and there's other spots where I think they can make some noise.
There you go, Chris, here on Missouri, here to go over 9.5 wins, get to 10. That means just go 10-2 season there, and you get the cash there, and you get a nice plus there, plus 140 here with Missouri. All right, we got Chris's play here. Let me know what you got going over at Pick.com. I know it's Christmas in July, so all you folks looking for good values on premium plays, this is the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a WNBA play on the board today, and we're going to start picking back up for baseball premium starting tomorrow with Friday. Restarting the baseball action, but like Tony said, Christmas in July, best time of the year to get the biggest discount. It's the only sale we offer yearly, and you can also use that promo code PICK at checkout for an additional 15% off your purchase. So this is a great time to jump on board. Yeah,
jump on board, guys. Christmas in July, 1 year all sports passes, not just college football, but all the sports, NFL, basketball, full seasons, college and pros, NHL, Chris in action in the NHL. Baseball, you get the end of this season, start of next season. But man, great value right now when you get on board with that 1 year all sports pass. As Chris said, the promo code PICK at checkout, 15% does apply to the discounted price. All right, Chris, as always, great having you on the show. Have a happy birthday. Enjoy the rest of the evening. We'll catch up with you next week, but we can catch up with you again, morning shows and written work as well. A lot going on with you over at Pick Dogs.
Yeah, tons going on. I appreciate the wishes. Tons going on. Daily videos are going to be back soon. This was a nice vacation, but at the end of the day, we only get a couple vacations a year, and we're still working through it. But the WNBA videos are now taking a break for a month with the Olympics, so I'll find something to do with my time. You can rest assured.
I thought I saw you on one of those evergreen videos.
Oh boy, don't start with me with those. I told you, there's stuff I do in spare time. Okay, I got to keep myself busy somehow.
No doubt about that. All right, Chris, have a great week. We'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
Chris Ruffolo here on the Drive To. Let's continue here on the show, guys. More, we got some NBA Summer League. My man Kirk Stuart, catch him over at Pick.com. He's been following this league. Bring him in right now. Kirk, what's happening?
Not much. How are we doing today?
Doing great. All right, here we go tonight. Summer League, 7 Eastern time. This is on the Plus. You could probably find it on NBA TV because I know a lot of these Plus games are on NBA TV. Grizzlies favorite here, 3.5 against the Magic in Vegas.
Yeah, two teams that are 2-0 and both really, really good starts to the Summer League. I think whoever wins this game will probably go to the semifinals of the Summer League, as there's a handful of teams that are already 3-0, and this will bring one of the other 2-0 teams to 3-0. But I'm on the Grizzlies here with the short points. I think they just have the better overall team. They won't have Zach Edey, but that hasn't mattered to them. I mean, they have a lineup with Trey Jamison, Scottie Pippen Jr., Gigi Jackson, Cam Spencer, and Jake LaRavia. The only one that wasn't in the NBA last year is Cam Spencer, and he was a national champion last year. And he just knows how to win. This team has really blown out both of their opponents, and the Magic, they're 2-0. They've had some nice plays. I mean, Tristan da Silva's looked pretty good for his first 2 games in the Summer League. Jet Howard's really making an impact, but overall, this Grizzlies team, they just know how to play together. Kind of like the Jazz, as I said earlier on the show, but this team has actually showed up in the Summer League. The Jazz have been very dysfunctional, so I got to lay the line with the Grizzlies at -3.5 here. They're the favorites to win the Summer League right now, and I think they definitely have what it takes to win it all.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have all those mass injuries last year. A lot of these rookies, guys from the G League, saw some action last year. Man, we talked about yesterday, was G.G. Jackson. He was one of those players that kind of came through, kind of hurt folks who were fading the Memphis Grizzlies because he was one of those hot, cold players. He'd come in with some big numbers, and he'd have some letdown nights as well. But how do you see G.G. Jackson's NBA career going into his sophomore year after showing some spark last year?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for him to get the amount of minutes that he got last year, obviously, with basically their whole starting five hurt and Smart, Desmond Bane, JJJ was out for a while, Ja, and now they have Edie, so I'm sure that'll be their starting five. But he could be a nice 7th, 8th man. I still think Luke Kennard will probably be that first man off the bench, but then it's kind of up in the air. I could see G.G. Jackson. Could see Trey Jameson. I really like Jake LaRavia. I think he's a really good player. So those guys all will remain on the team. I'm not really sure who's going to get that final spot. With how we've seen in Summer League so far, I would give it to G.G. Jackson, though. And I remember during the season when the Bucks were favored multiple times by double-digit points, and G.G. Jackson went crazy in one of those games. So definitely a guy that can make an impact. Definitely interested to see if the Grizzlies will be able to hold on to him in a couple of years, because he definitely has a lot of potential.
Yeah, he definitely does. Has a really good-looking shot, too. I mean, it just looks really smooth with that release. So far, your take here from the Summer League, some of the rookies, the first-round guys that stood out to you.
Yeah, I think as I've alluded to, I mean, Alex Sarr had a terrible game last night. 0 for 15. I did have his rebounds prop over 6.5, so he hit that. So I wasn't too mad about his performance, but he didn't look great. He's going to be a good factor on the defensive end. And, I mean, Reed Shepherd's a guy that really, really, I think can make an immediate impact. That's also a very packed backcourt with Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, and Fred VanVleet. So I'm interested to see how that shapes out, see who gets a lot of minutes, if it's Thompson or Shepherd off the bench, or if they even move one of them to small forward. And then I'm trying to think, who else? Cody Williams, actually, from the Jazz. He's had a pretty nice start to the Summer League. And Tristan Da Silva as well for the Magic has looked pretty good. So those are a couple of names that I'd say I've been impressed with.
What about these folks that the gurus got wrong? These undrafted free agents. Any undrafted free agent there catch your attention?
Off the top of my head right now, I can't name one, but no, I can't name one off the top of my head.
None of them. Right, yeah, that's why they were undrafted. They're going to showcase. They're going to make plays. They're going to diagram it for the first and second rounders. And don't forget, those second-year guys are the ones that usually shine. That we see in the Summer League. That usually happens. Of course, Memphis is stacked with those second-year guys in there because, well, they had to play a lot of their rookies and G Leaguers. I mean, remember last year, right? Some of their lineups include a lot of G Leaguers in there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was watching that Heat versus, I forget who they were playing today, but Alondas Williams threw down an insane dunk. I don't know if you got to see it, but probably the dunk of the Summer League.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was the G League Most Improved Player last year, so you can see these G Leaguers really trying to make a name for themselves and get that NBA contract and not end up back in the G League another season.
Your Boston Celtics in action today, down 39-32 here. What have you seen so far? Have you been following this one?
Yeah, I have. I actually really think this is a good Celtics team. I know that they got to play with all of the Celtics players. Most of them were on the team. I'm expecting a little more from their first-round pick in Shireman, but, I mean, it's same with a lot of guys. Like, they haven't looked good early, so I like this lineup that they put out with Keita, Davison, Walsh, and guys that really could use the minutes. I doubt any of them really see real playing time this year, but these guys have played together for the Maine Red Claws for a little, so I like this team. I think they'll actually come back and win this game, so I'm on the Celtics live in this one.
All right, Celtics live in this one against Charlotte here. Still about 37 seconds to go in the first half on NBA TV. Kirk tonight on the Grizzlies laying the 3.5. All right, Kirk, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Premium. Of course, it is Christmas in July. Is this the WNBA game on the board tonight in the prime time? And of course, a great past 7 days for Kirk. What's going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I also got one WNBA play on the board tonight, and just like Chris said, it's Christmas in July, my first with Pick Dogs, so I just put up my sale for coming year. So it'll be my first NBA season for college basketball, NFL, college football, so I got a lot to show you guys, so put some faith in your boy and hop on board for a yearly pass, and remember to use that code PICK at checkout for even 15% more off. So big year ahead, and just happy to be here.
That's right, guys. Got both Kirk Stuart over at Pick Dogs Premium. That 1 year all sports pass from Kirk gets a lot of sports because he is active not only in the major sports, but you see him in the soccer in there as well. It's a great time to get on board. Of course, European soccer will. Of course, they're just going to start the friendlies pretty soon. They're going to try in the camp pretty soon, guys. So before you know it, we're back to the English Premier League. So get on board with Kirk. All the major sports covered as well as soccer. And as he said, PICK is a promo code. Save that 15% off. Right, Kirk, as always, great having you show. Have a great rest of the afternoon. We'll catch up with you later.
Sounds good. Thank you. Have a good one.
As well, Kirk Stewart here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on. We'll get more college football season wins here for you right now. Bring in Matt Fargo. You'll catch up over at Pick Dogs Premium as we're going to look at some Big Ten action here tonight with Matt. It's that time of the year right now. College football just about 6 weeks away. I think August 29th is when we see. Actually, before that, right? We've got that week 0 that will creep up on us as well in late August. So I think we'll find Matt here in just a second. Maybe I went too far on this board. I think I did. Yes, I did. All right, let's find him here in a second. He will be looking at Northwestern tonight. Let's see. Here we go. Matt, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. How you doing, bud?
Doing great. All right, college football season win totals. We've been around this bracket for a while, so this is about when we start to crank college action. But you'll be looking here at Missouri tonight. I'm sorry, not Missouri. You'll be looking at Northwestern. That's right,
Northwestern, yeah. Northwestern was probably one of the biggest overachieving teams last year. They came in with a 3.5 win total. They ended up winning 8 games. They went through a lot of adversity, which I think sometimes helps teams. With Pat Fitzgerald getting fired, a few weeks before the season. 6 of those wins were by 1 possession, so there was some luck involved. And even probably more fortunate, they committed 9 turnovers all year. 1 fumble, which is unheard of. And that's not going to happen again this year. So basically their offense, they lose their quarterback, top 2 running backs, wide receivers. So their offense, which averaged, I think, around 22 points per game last year, I think it's going to regress a little bit. And the big thing, even though you go back to last year, the turnover with players and stuff like that, you look at the returning starters and stuff, but this year, based on this team, is their schedule. Not just because it's the Big Ten, but the fact that they don't really have a home stadium this year.
That's right.
Ryan Field is going under renovations for the next 2 years, and I'm not sure if it's a soccer stadium where they're going to be playing. 15,000, which for college football, it's nothing. So they have 7 home games, 5 are there, and they have 1 at Soldier, 1 at Wrigley, which, they have no home field edge at all, in my opinion. So, they start out with Miami, who's probably the favorite in the MAC this year. Then they have Duke and Eastern Illinois, so those are 2 wins right there. So they'll probably start out 2-1. The big thing is also the road. They go to Washington, Iowa, Michigan. Those are losses, 100%. And their other 2 road games are at Maryland and Purdue, which could be considered, the same ballpark as them. But both of those teams are coming off bye weeks prior to that game. So their road schedule, I think they go 0-5 on the road. I think they went 0-6 2 years ago on the road, something like that. So, and with no home field edge, 4.5 seems low, but I see them maybe with 3 wins. The other one coming from maybe Indiana at home, but they're okay. The back end of the schedule is just brutal. So no, I see under 4.5, 100%.
All right, man. Looking at under 4.5 wins here for Northwestern as they were seeing their soccer and lacrosse field. They're adding these temporary bleachers. It's going to be a funny look here for Northwestern. It's right by the lake too. There's some water there near the soccer and lacrosse stadium, so maybe for good television. But yeah, it's going to be tough to secure the Bears field. It was not, again, Chicago Bears. I don't know if you want college football games going on, especially in late November when you really tear up that field.
Right, exactly. I totally agree with that. And one thing they miss Oregon, they miss Penn State, and they miss, I think, USC also on their schedule. So that's a big advantage. But just the way the schedule sets up, it's just not good. It's just not good with the back end being so tough. I'm looking at it right now, and those road games just in my opinion, brutal.
Yeah, I mean, if Iowa, we got Wisconsin, Iowa. You're going to get beat up in those. And Purdue has some beef up front. Ohio's it. And you know what? After going through that gauntlet, I think Illinois could be a loss too.
Yeah, I mean that's their season finale, and I mean it's a rivalry game, and it's basically at a neutral field, in my opinion. It's Soldier Field. It's a neutral field, so they have no advantage there, in my opinion. And
that's a
Illinois,
tough trip. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean you're looking probably Miami and Indiana. I mean, I don't know what Indiana's going through right now, but just from Eastern Illinois, obviously they got that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Looking at the schedule quickly, Duke is not going to be good this year. They lost their head coach and all that.
Yeah.
Eastern Illinois, Miami, possibly. Miami's a good team, though. They're favored to win the MAC, and
we see that happen. We see these MAC teams. We see MAC teams beat the bad Big 12 teams. We've seen that before.
Right, and honestly, like last year, Northwestern beat Howard from the FCS by 3 points. So Eastern Illinois, who knows? Anything can happen. Yep,
there you go. So Matt here on Northwestern Wildcats under 4. How do you see this conference now with all these changes? Of course, no more divisions. It's just one big division standing with all these teams.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of wide open. I think obviously Ohio State and Oregon are probably the top two. I don't want to say about a lot because Penn State and Michigan will be good. Iowa, I think, is going to be great again with their defense, and hopefully, with their offensive coordinator being gone, they'll be better on that side of the ball. But they have 10 teams right now that are projected with win totals of 6.5 or more, and that's quite a bit out of a 60-team conference. So it's top loaded. It should be great. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these, West Coast, East Coast games that we haven't seen before. It'll be pretty interesting to watch for sure.
Yeah, with these, they get rid of the divisions here. Interesting to see what style points are going to be meaningful this again. I think this year we're going to. You think that's going to be the case now because there's game within a game. It's getting in the playoffs, but then some of these teams wanting to get into that bye, get the home game. There's a lot going on here with these playoffs and how these coaches might look into, especially with these boosters who would like a home game.
Right. Why? Exactly. Right. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about it is like you look at some of these top teams, and like you said, the boosters. Will they win games 55-0 if they have to? Yeah, probably. Before it probably didn't matter. I think it matters a lot more now. Yeah, I agree with what you just said about that about style points.
Yeah, because again, just getting in. A team gets hot, just getting in might be the goal. Because if you're off to a hot start, 8-0, 9-0,
right.
There's going to be other 8-0, 9-0s. You're really finagling for that top seed. You're playing that seed game. We see that in college basketball. How the top seed, the second seed. There's a lot going into this season where we may start seeing these teams start to really try to blow out teams big.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. Yep.
Again, because you're taking away now the neutral site, you're getting the buy-in situations now. There's a lot going on here in college football, but maybe we'll see the return of the blowout wins. I don't think it ever was for some teams.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Right, I agree. Yeah, it'll be fun to watch, see how these teams react to where they are in November, because things could change a lot where they're playing their weaker opponents, whatever, and they feel like they have to blow these teams out. And I don't know if that really should count. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, I mean,
if a team, you know what I mean?
The team that loses two straight. If you lose 2 games in November, how far are you going to drop? Right, and that team that's hot that comes from the clouds, right? That's going to be the discussion, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the way it's been in the past. Also, like if you start off, what you said, 8-0, and you lose 2 games in November, you're done. You're cooked. So, yeah.
Should be interesting as how this plays out. Northwestern here under 4.5 here from Matt. All right, Matt, let everybody know what you got going over at Pick Dodge Premium. Of course, we're heading into a slower week this week with the All-Star break. But, of course, Christmas in July means there are really good values up there.
Yep, Christmas in July we got going. And CFL is back in action tomorrow. Baseball back up Friday. And preseason football, NFL, 2 weeks. Let's get that big pass going and win some money.
That's right, guys. We're 2 weeks away from NFL preseason, so better time now to get on board. Remember that 1 year all sports pass is the way to go, guys. A lot of coverage there from all the major leagues, all premium plays, and pick as a promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Matt, as always, great having you on the show. Have a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Awesome, Tony. Good seeing you, man.
You as well. Here we go. Matt Fargo here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show. Here we're supposed to have Wayne Scott here. I don't know where Wayne is. we got to get a search party out there for Wayne. He was supposed to sign in after Kirk signed out. Okay, so we got Wayne here. So we'll see if he signs in. We had someone asking about that Laker game. We'll have coverage there with Wayne on this one. If he signs in, he should have signed in already, but he was next on the lot here. But we'll see what happens here. So let's see. Let me check the screen here if he's got in yet. No, I still see Kirk's face in the screen. All right, so we'll wait. We'll jump the gun here. We'll bring in Joey here. We got some NFL season win here from Joey Tron. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now, ready to roll here. I think we'll get him here in just a second. If I can remember where these on this board. Let's see where Joey is. Here is Joey. Joey, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good afternoon.
I guess good evening, I should say.
Yeah, good afternoon, afternoon where I am, probably evening where you're at. But here we go with our season win totals. You're going to be looking at a team that's very interesting here. Harbaugh coming to LA.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the Chargers to to make the playoffs this year. I know they definitely were significantly underwhelming last year, but with a whole new coach, a new defensive coordinator, I really think they're going to make some noise this year. They got a new backfield with tough running backs and Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, and rookie Kamani Vidal. They added wide receivers Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnson, and DJ Chark, which is definitely going to be awesome for Justin Herbert in the backfield. They have a new defensive coordinator in Jesse Minter, who Harbaugh brought over from Michigan, so I'm really excited to see how those two work together. Denzel Perryman and Junior Colson, who was a third-round pick, who also played for Michigan and joined the team. So having those three Michigan Wolverines together, I'm really excited to see what this defense can do. Secondary is led by all-pro safety Derwin James and corner Asante Samuel. So not much has changed on the defensive side except for the coordinator, which I think will definitely bring them in. There's a few key games that I see as must-wins for them. On the road, they got the Panthers, the Steelers, the Broncos, the Cardinals, the Falcons, and the Patriots. And at home, again, my Titans, they should beat them, the Saints, and the Broncos. Put all that together, and I really think the Chargers can sneak in as a wild card team here.
All right, Joey says Chargers to make the playoffs here at plus 110. Of course, we know the coaching change here. That's huge here with the Chargers. As we know, the Chargers have had issues here over the years with the with coaching decisions and blowing big leads. And, part of it had to do with the fact that they relied too much on the passing game. They had a running back who really was more of a receiving back. And, when you can't average 4 yards a carry on the ground, you're going to have a lot of problems in the NFL. I don't care if it's a passing league, but your lead running back can't get to at least 4.3, 4.4, you're going to struggle.
Yeah, no doubt. And one important thing, too, that I really like is even with them shipping out Mike Williams, it doesn't really matter. A guy barely played half the time anyways. Bring in wide receivers who are actually healthy, who will actually contribute to the team. And that's really what this Chargers offense needs. Justin Herbert's done literally almost everything a QB can possibly do except win a playoff game. He can throw touchdowns, he can rack up the yards, and with a coach like Harbaugh, I think they finally got the right pieces here.
That's something that when we talk about the issue there with receivers, but when your 1 and 2 gets hurt, that really impacts continuity. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the NBA when you lose your superstar scorers, right? Because you really need that continuity between the number 1 and 2 with your quarterback. When you start losing players, then you start to try to build that chemistry and continuity with new players, the replacements in there that can cause a lot of chaos sometimes in the passing game.
Yeah, no doubt. And one good thing that I really like about the Chargers' schedule, their first 3 games, they're home against Vegas, at Carolina, and at Pittsburgh. and then their fourth game is at home against Kansas City. So I definitely like those first three opponents to kind of work out all the kinks with the new coaches, new defense, which would, again, hopefully by the time they play the Chiefs, this will be a good-ass game in my opinion.
Yeah, they're just looking at their schedule. It looks like they got the NFC South this year, which some folks may say, well, we'll see how that rolls. Saints, Panthers, we'll see what they do. That's an up. That might be one of the weakest divisions in the NFC. So they do draw the NFC South there. That will help them a little bit, I think. In fact, that getting that draw in the AFC, I'm seeing a lot of that. They got the tough draw. They got the tough draw in the AFC. They got they got the North Division, so they got it tough there. Their extra games here. Let's see what they have with extra games. They got the Patriots as one of their extra games, which I think helps their scheduling chances there. Getting the Patriots. That one's late though in the season. See, there's a trouble spot. That well, actually maybe not, because you go December 29th at New England with a Harbaugh team. He's going to have his offensive line ready and probably get some running game to help Herbert.
Mm-hmm. I also think having Tampa Bay, Denver before that back-to-back stretch with New England, Las Vegas definitely helps a little bit as well.
Yeah,
because I don't think Denver's going to be all that good. I think Tampa Bay has a few question marks with them. So
Steelers too, right? There's a whole quarterback.
They have the Steelers week 3 on the road.
Yeah. Steelers week.
Definitely
3.
good to get out there early in the fall. Don't want to be playing out in Pittsburgh deep in the winter.
No doubt about that. Looks like their extra game against the NFC is at Arizona. Arizona's a team. What do you think about them? How Kyler Murray showed some. They did cover some games late in the year, but now you get a full year of Kyler Murray. See if his health holds up.
I'm not a Kyler Murray guy. I don't like him. I think one of the big things for a quarterback, I'm not trying to bash his height or anything, but you got to be able to see downfield. And I just think, he's very talented, not going to take away from that. But when you think of a quarterback, you want someone who's big, bulky, able to move downfield, and I just don't see with Kyler Murray. I see him very fragile, and I kind of see him too injury prone, in my opinion.
There you go, Joey, here on the Chargers to make playoffs here at plus 110. All right, Joey, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Premium for tonight's action. Of course, the WNBA on the board, but we're at Christmas in July. Of course, Joey enjoying a great WN season. What's going on over at Pick Dog Premium?
Yeah, so I got one WNBA play up for tonight. Tip-off is momentarily. I think it's at 7:10-ish. But other than that, very quiet night for me. I have up my 1-year pass. If you use the code PICK, you get 15% off. You'll get a full year of every sport I have to offer. College football, college basketball, NFL, NBA, NHL. Come check out what I'm all about, and you'll get some winning plays for a full year.
Full year, guys, and winning plays from Joey Tron over at Pick Dogs. We'll get that 1-year pass on sale right now over at Christmas in July. All right, Joey, it's always great having you show. Have a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you next week. But we can catch up with you here. I know on Friday you have that big release with your NASCAR series.
Yeah, no doubt. This week's race is at the Brickyard right here in my backyard in Indianapolis. I'm really looking forward to it. They're returning to the Oval, so it's going to be a great time. I'll be there live right in the paddock box, about 5 rows from the finish line, so it's going to be a great race, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, hope you get your press pass. Get your press pass soon. Right?
That'd be sweet. Imagine that one.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. You can do it. I know ways of doing that. So there you go. Have a great time with the races. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Tony. You have a good one.
As well, Joey Tron here on the drive to. All right, guys, we'll continue here on the show. Someone was asked about the Laker game. We got someone to get a hold of Wayne. So Wayne is here on the show. So let's bring him in right now. Catch him over at Pick.Fim. We'll take a look at the remainder of the Summer League for tonight, as Wayne keeps an eye on the Summer League very closely. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Hope y'all doing good out there today.
Everything's going great here. We're going to take a look here at NBA Summer League. This game was requested in the chat, so you came through with the chat tonight with the pick. I know we've got a few remaining games left on this card, but this is the one that Wayne is looking at here. Lakers and the Hawks. The Hawks are the favorite team here, 4.5. This is on ESPN. Bronny, watch continues. Total 172.5.
Yes, sir. This hype game will have a lot of hype because of Bronny being in it, but the Lakers haven't played so well. They just lack the depth outside of Connect. We haven't got a lot of scoring from these guys. One thing I can say is they've been playing good defense for the most part, and they've been on the side of playing two of the better teams in the Summer League in Boston and Houston. Played a lot better in the Boston game than the Houston game. But both of those teams have legit players. They have gotten drafted last year, year before, and they're built well. Hawks, 2 losses on their side, but to me, they haven't played as tough as competition as the Lakers, losing to San Antonio and getting blown out by Washington. We seen Washington struggling yesterday. The Hawks do have the better player with the number 1 pick. They got guys like Gaia back, and EJ Liddell has got moved to the team. A guy who came from Ohio State who's pretty good, but he's been injured. So I do think they have the better players, but I think the Lakers get this win. I can't lay 5 points with this Hawks team with Bronny Kennett. I think this is one of them games where it's a scrappy game, and Bronny has a better game because they don't really have the guards to slow him up. This is a game where I see he could actually have a decent scoring game, and the Lakers get this win at the underdog price.
All right, Wayne says, think Lakers here, money line here, plus 160 here against the Hawks here in NBA Summer League. Lakers team, under scrutiny here. There's a lot of pressure. Obviously it is Summer League, right? They put a lot of pressure on this team, but obviously with the general manager and whatnot. So far we've talked about here with this Hawks team. What do you see the future of this team moving forward here? Because they've had some struggles. Trae Young, can they really get something going this next season?
Well, they every time they make a move, it just doesn't fit right. I can't say I give them credit because we see some teams out there that they seem like they're just not even trying. The Hawks have tried. They continue to bring guys in. They're just not meshing well and kind of bringing the right guys together. It seems like they're going to scratch slate. They're going to need to bring in some defense. Capella's getting kind of old. I don't want to say they necessarily need a big man. I like some of the overseas players they've brought in, but at the same time, they really look like they're ready to crash course with this team. They're starting over new. They got a first-round pick. Like I said, they brought in younger guys like EJ Liddell. They got Guy from last year who's gotten reasonable minutes towards the end of the season. But it looks like they're going to start over, and we know with a team starting over, it may take a little while to get things going. We'll see what they do with Trae Young, but as long as they got Trae Young there, they got a chance to compete. But they'll need to bring more than the young guys that they have in with them.
There you go. From Wayne there, looking at this Atlanta Hawk team here with the Summer League here, and this pick here with the Lakers. Let's see if we get into some other games here tonight here on this Summer League schedule. We know as we see the Celtics creeping back here against the Hornets tonight, but we'll take a look here at games upcoming here on the schedule. We covered the Grizzlies Magic already. We'll look at this one here between the Suns and Thunder. We see the Suns will be the favorite team, 2.5, total 172.5.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like this last game where I just like the competition that the Suns have played better. Both of these teams coming into a loss, and Indiana, Suns losing to Indiana in a close game. That was a game where they played very well. This Indiana team is strapped up deep with good draft picks from last year, continuing on this year, and they lost to Golden State, one of the better teams, a team that's 2-0 with a three-headed monster over there. Thunder, I like Nikola Jokic, but at the same time, like I said, they just haven't putting it together as a G League team. They've lost to Miami and Toronto, two teams that Miami, I give them credit, is playing well, but Toronto shoe still fits with them. So I'm gonna ride with the Suns here. I just like the way they've been playing in their losses better than the Thunder.
All right, we talked Lakers Hawks to close out the night tonight in Vegas. ESPN Plus, Warriors and Cavaliers. Cavs are the favorite here. Cavs 2, total 176.
Yeah, I'm on ride with the Warriors. Kind of like yesterday, if the Warriors haven't been beat, the Cavs got blown out by the Magic. The Cavs, they do have good players. I like their draft pick, Taylor Tyson from Cal this year. I got a chance to look at him. Definitely a solid player, solid size, all-around player. Imani Bates coming off the bench. They have a chance. They're a scrappy team, but at the same time, with this three-headed monster with the Warriors having a lot of experience from last year with guys getting injured, Trey Jackson. Then they just got the guy Plowden, if I'm saying his name right. but he's been balling, scoring about 15 to 20 points a game. So that three-headed monster, they haven't lost yet. I'm going to continue to ride them. We're getting them as underdogs. I'm going to take the Warriors.
All right, Wayne, here on the Warriors here, because we've covered someone's talked about We've given you a pick from every NBA Summer League this week. Kirk on Monday, Wayne on Tuesday, Wednesday. He'll do it again tomorrow. So we've given you a lot of coverage here in the Summer League here, because Wayne covers it. Covers all the basketball in the summer. Also covers international, because we know a week from Friday, Team USA. We start the U.S. Group stages. We know Serbia's in there. I think also Puerto Rico. There's another team in their group stages. But today we saw, it was out in the Middle East, but we saw Team USA pound Serbia behind Curry in their friendly.
Yes, sir. That was a beat down. Boy, was I wrong. I thought Serbia was going to have enough to come in there and get a back door, and they started off pretty good in that first quarter, but then it got ugly, man. And USA is like, I know they have the team, but they are older guys, and they have a deep lineup off that bench. I just wanted to see if they were going to come out and actually play, and they're actually playing. Everybody's playing their role. It's actually a beautiful thing to see, and now I'm a little bit more confident of laying them lines, just seeing how they came out and not played around at all, and kind of utilize everybody where they're supposed to be, and they look like they're having fun. So it's going to be a dangerous USA team if they're playing like that.
There you go. Wayne will be covering, as is it, Summer League. Also, we'll be covering the Olympics, as I believe when the Summer League ends, we'll get right into the Olympic group stages. Then from there, we get into the quarters, semis, and the gold medal game. Covers the entire Olympics. Gold medal game is usually the last day. It's usually the last day, right? Last sport going, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Definitely. Well, everything tuning down, football getting ready to rev up. You got that little dead space, and that's where it's at.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of, as you know, a lot of NBA players will be taking part, as well as very good European League players taking part here in the Olympics. So that'd be something we'll all be catching there. But Team USA with an impressive win in a friendly here against Serbia, and that was overseas in the Middle East. And like I said, they start a week from Friday with the opening round group stages. I'm not gonna, I know there's gonna be women's basketball up there. You follow any of that, or you're just strictly on the men's side? I know WNBA is going on break after today.
I'm gonna be checking it out, but I'm not gonna be into it as much as men's. But I definitely follow the WNBA enough to be able to tell which teams got slight advantages based off the players that actually are playing.
So you probably have some picks about the middle round, I would think, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Possibly if the number's there, yeah, why not?
All right, but by the middle round, we'll have group stage games, quarterfinals, so we'll know more about these teams when we get down to the medal games. But anyway, here for tonight, we got Wayne on the Lakers money line here with his NBA Summer League for tonight. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Premium. Of course, Christmas in July, a lot going on, lots of in the break, but Friday baseball is back. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium? We have a great baseball season going.
As Tony said, man, I'm excited for Friday to come back. Was watching the game today earlier. Just focus, man. Want to stay locked in. As they mentioned, Christmas in July. Best chance to get my yearly package at a most discounted price of the year. I'm looking to continue to smash baseball. I'm looking to go off in football. I'm loving this college football. The switch up of it got me back excited. From all the teams switching conferences and adding to the conferences, the transfer portal, it just really has me back excited. I know the gamers out there know the game just came out, so it keeps you more in tune with the players and stuff like that. So it's just excited for that time. And like I said, like these guys been saying, if you're a long-term person doesn't like to go day by day, this is the best time to get a yearly pass. The most discounted you will get it. Take advantage of it.
That's right, guys. Christmas in July. Take advantage of the 1 year all sports pass. It's your July special. And, of course, you can also apply the promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. This is the time to get on board, guys, with the 1 year pass here from Wayne. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow, more Summer League.
Yes, sir. I'll be here tomorrow, and I'm going to try to get you guys a good banger. I hate to collide with my boy on the show, but Stuart. But I'm going with the Magic money line on that
There
one,
you
man. So
go.
we gonna see what happens.
We'll see what happens. That's right. I went ahead to make the seat. Just barely beat you by a few seconds with that pick, by the way.
I ain't mad at it, man. I understand his point, logic. I actually like Memphis, like you said. That's a three-headed monster. Pippen, GGG, the guys he named, Laravia, all guys I'm familiar with, all ballers. This is gonna be a good game, but I think the Magic are a little bit better than people assume, like most times. So they'll have a chance to show it tonight, though.
Yeah, you certainly will. So looking forward to that one tonight coming up. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up with you tomorrow.
All right, take care, Tony T. As always, thank you for putting me on the show today, and I'll get with you guys tomorrow.
Got it. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show, guys. We got some more call. We got NFL coming in here with Rod. You catch him over at Pick.com. Rod's been good to us here. NFL season win total coming in here with Rod Zawacky. So we'll bring him in right now. I think we'll be ready to roll here with him in just a second. Let's see. We got Rod ready to roll here with Rod. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much. Trying to stay cool, Tony. It's hot. It's hot. Feels like
yes.
97 degrees out today. It's hot. So for the next 10 days, it's supposed to be hot here. 97,
Yikes.
95, 96, 98, 98, 99. We might break 100 if it keeps going the way it goes. There's definitely a chance.
Woo.
We're in a heat warning for the next 8 to 10 days. So definitely trying to stay cool.
Stay cool indeed.
I'm not worried about me. I can stay cool. I'm worried about my big shaggy dog.
Oh, yes. Rough.
Poor guys. I just made him a bunch of frozen treats, so they're pretty happy. You give them some frozen watermelon treats. You just mash up the watermelon, put it in little molds, and then you can pull it out, and they get some frozen watermelon treats. Mix some blueberries in with it. Good stuff. They're happy with those.
It's Prime Day. There's some really good shaved ice. Those shaved ice machines on special right now. Hawaiian ice.
Hawaiian ice, yeah. See, I just give them ice cubes. Just put ice cubes right into their water bowl. Right into the water bowl. They'll go in there and they'll cold water, blah 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 blah. And then they'll pull the ice out and jump on some ice. So yeah, they're happy. Well, that's good.
Nice. All right, Rob. We're going here. NFL season wins tonight, and we're going to be looking here at the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, we are looking at the Arizona Cardinals, and there's nothing wrong with Kyler Murray. We've seen what Kyler Murray has done already in his career. Just think, if he didn't tear his ACL. He would still be racking up the yards as he does. But heading into this season, he's 100% healthy and ready to go. And with the additions that Arizona's made to put around Kyler Murray, I like what we've seen and what we're going to see from this Arizona team. They brought back just about all their coaches this season. Jonathan Gannon getting his second season start as head coach here of the Cardinals. And what we see at the end of last season from this Cardinals team is an offense that loves to run the ball. And they were the best at it heading into the last season, winning those 4 games and rushing it. Best in the NFL. And I think that continues here with the running backs that they've got. James Conner, he'll be able to run the ball. We know that he's easily running the ball with Arizona as well, but it's the additions at wide receiver. We know they brought in Mike Harrison Jr. As the number 1 pick, and he's expected to be big talent for the Cardinals. But I think you cannot forget a guy who broke out last season, who had a good season, but I think this season he'll be probably coming in at the number 2 wide receiver for the Cardinals is Michael Wilson. And we've seen Michael Wilson last season step up at the wide receiver position. And now you look at the tight end position as well, as they've got depth at the tight end position for Arizona as well. Their offensive line will definitely give Kyler Murray plenty of protection to be able to peek up. Even if he needs a step stool to look over that line, he's going to find those guys down the field. Short enough or not, we've seen what Warren Moon can do, and Kyler Murray's taller than him. I like Cardinals over the win total of 7.5 because, look at defensively as well. Nick Rawls will be his second season as the defensive coordinator on the defensive side of the ball. We know that Arizona had trouble stopping the rush. Well, we added some guys in there with Bilal Nichols. Justin Jones came over in trades. And then they drafted a guy named Darnay Robinson, who they drafted. and we know where he came from. He came from the Missouri Tigers, and this guy on the defensive line is going to cause many fits for many offenses because he's a guy that can move up and down the line. He can play on the outside. He can play on the inside. I think they play the rookie on the inside a lot more. And as he said many a times, he loves to play up and down the line. So he's one of those guys that you can move down the line. So it's really tough to stay blocking this guy on that defensive line that's going to be improved. This Arizona team's going to be able to stop the run a lot better than what they did last season. I like what we got here with Arizona staying healthy because we know that last season they had trouble injury-wise. So if this team can stay healthy with all these guys and the pieces they've added, I love them over this 7.5 win total. I think they get to 9 or 10.
Yeah, it's been tough, right? When the receivers are healthy, their quarterback was hurt. When the quarterback was healthy, the receivers were hurt. This is a very unlucky team.
Very unlucky team over the last couple seasons with the injuries. Just like you said, the receivers are all healthy and going, and then Kyler Murray got hurt. And they had issues there. And then when Kyler Murray got back, all the receivers were hurt. So he had really nobody to throw to. So those last 4 games to end last season, there's a lot of running. Run. And guess what? They did it well. Rushing up 200-yard games in 3 of those 4. So I like what they can do rushing-wise. And then they've added some receivers to help Kyler Murray out as well. When you could run the ball and you have those type of wide receivers, watch out for this Cardinals team, especially the improvement that I'm expecting to see on defense with the guys they added. I'm excited for this Cardinals team.
Yeah, the Cardinals had 2 first-round picks, they had a second-round pick, and they had 4 third-round picks. And they got they got a lot of picks here in this draft.
A lot of picks in this draft. Added a bunch of guys defensively, like more than just the guy that I mentioned.
It's secondary.
Defensive. And the secondary, cornerbacks they added as well.
Melton from Rutgers.
You look, Sean Murphy, Bunting. They added a bunch. I'm excited to see what this Cardinals team could do. They stay healthy the way all these guys on paper look. I think they're going to surprise some people and make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a team.
Especially in that division.
Yeah.
Big division.
You know, they got a bit on defense. We know that's the situation. We got to just keep the sticks moving. And again, Harrison was a big acquisition here. Everybody was getting quarterback happy. You got this guy like Harrison falls right in your lap.
Falls right in your lap, and hey, look what happens. Everybody was like, "Oh, they were taken." I remember that they were talking. Arizona was taken last year to get to get Marvin Harrison. They want the draft and take him. He didn't try to take down the end. It just happened that he just fell in their lap, and they were happy to take him.
Yeah,
and because I think a lot of teams will double team Harrison, Michael Wilson will become open a lot more, and he's very good with his hands at scooping up the ball. I think both Marvin Harrison Jr. Get 1,000 yards receiving, and I think Michael Wilson also 1,000 yards receiving for Arizona.
Okay, so the NFC West this year plays the AFC East, and they also play the NFC North this year.
Right. So you look. For me, I look at their schedule and they start week 1 Buffalo, tough task. At Buffalo as well. That's a tough game. I'll give it to Buffalo at home in week 1. Week 2, you're going against the Rams. You know what? I think they can come into LA and get the win there.
Oh, they're home there. They're home in that one.
Oh, they're home there in that. Yeah, they are home in there in that one. My bad. At home against the Rams, I think that for me the toughest part of the schedule is the first part here where they face Buffalo, the Rams, and then Detroit to kick off your year. That's a tough start to any season for any of the team going at it. If you can sneak one win out of there and come 1-2, I like that because then you go against Washington, and we know what Washington's done because then you follow that up with against San Francisco. So tough start to the season here for Arizona. I think if you can go 2-2 to start the season, that's where you want to be. That's where I'm hoping. 2-2
just need 8 wins
to start the season. Yeah, split the 2-2 to start the season because the rest of the season goes down there. You face Seattle a couple times.
No
down
Pete
the schedule.
Carroll. No Pete Carroll. So.
And no Pete Carroll there in Seattle anymore. The Bears, you get the Bears once. Bears are still question marks on the Bears and how they're going to be. I think you get some improvement, but still got some question marks. You get to face New England. We know what we got there. We actually you really don't know until you got there. A bunch of question marks with the Patriots.
Well, that's right, because
Carolina,
they finished last place, so they're getting last place teams here with the Patriots and Panthers extra games.
Patriots, Panthers, Seattle a couple times. So there's at least 5 games there that I absolutely they should roll some teams. And then by the time they get to those, because it's middle schedule, later in the schedule, you face those hard teams. So you've had to face some adversity early in the season. So later on, as your season goes along, as we've seen those numbers, it gets a little easier for Arizona as the schedule goes along.
Yeah.
Until you get late in the season, then it's tough again. It's tough early, tough late, and then they got that middle part where I think they scoop up 5-6 wins there. Right? It's one of those things. Late, they gotta finish the season with San Francisco at home.
Yeah,
Tough.
Yeah, it is, and they got back-to-back road spots here when you get into October at 49ers, at Packers. Then you get the Chargers, I believe, a Monday night game. Then you have a short week at Miami. That's a really tough spot there. Playing at home to Chargers,
that's a tough spot.
A Monday night, and then you're on the road here on a 10 a.m. game, a 1 p.m. Eastern game at Miami. Get your Dolphins.
Yeah. I guess the Dolphins on a Sunday. Yeah, we know what that's going to be like. It's going to be hot. Hot. But Arizona, they're not no slouches.
No, they were competitive on the road last year. See, that's what I'm saying. Arizona is a team that when they've got everybody healthy, they're a functional team. It's just the fact that they were just a bad luck team when we talked about early in the session here. If they can just stay injury free, maybe limit their injuries, they've got players, they got draft picks now, they got depth. You're right. I think it's a team, and I do believe that the Seahawks are going to feel a big loss without Carroll there. I think that's a huge blunder, huge blunder by Seattle
without Pete Carroll there. Yeah, because it's amazing what Pete Carroll was able to do with the guys that he did have in Seattle. He's that good of a coach that he can make some of those guys that are just average look well above average. We know that can happen with any NFL coach. That them good coaches can coach up those guys, the young guys that definitely not as talented as what they look on paper. He gets more out of his guys than anybody else. He gets out there because people play for him.
Yep.
They get really excited to play for Clappy. He gets right up there in the field. He gets all excited, and that enthusiasm and motivation gets all the players high.
He rebuilds programs too. When he loses players, he can rebuild them. That's hard to find.
He can rebuild them, from the ground up. You can take this guy and he can build the guy up and yeah, look at Gino. Man, the season that Gino had, everybody was like, wow. When we first ever thought that they made that move into Gino, everybody was like, oh man, really? All right, we're gonna be cashing in off Gino, and then look what he did.
Yeah. Oh, the season win total was big with the Trey Carroll last couple of seasons, because we know you save money on the quarterback. Boom, he's going to beef up the other positions. So there you go. So Rod here, Arizona over 7.5 wins. All right, Rod, it's Christmas in July. Let everybody know what's going on over at Pick Dodge Premium.
And over at Pick Dodge Premium, it's Christmas in July. As many of the cappers have said before me, but what they have also failed to tell you, when you scoop up that year pass, don't forget to use that promo code PICK at checkout to save 15% off. But you also get the year pass thrown in there. I know I seen an email today from Mitch saying that anybody who purchases the year pass from the cappers will get themselves the year consensus thrown in there as well. So that's a good bonus included. So don't miss out on Christmas in July. Head on over, scoop it up. Let's continue to crush the books all season long. We had many winning seasons in college football, NFL, winning season last season. We're going to carry that forward into this season as well. So join me as we continue to crush the books in the sports we love. They're almost back. Yeah,
that's right. Almost
look
back.
Look at WNBA too. Look at WNBA. So I got one play tonight there as well. Scoop it up. My $19 WNBA play of the night.
There you go. Use that promo code PICK and get on board here with the when they play. Oh, the Christmas in July is a great program. This is the sale time to get it with Rod. All right, Rod, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great night, and we'll catch up with you again on Steak Friday.
You as well, Tony. Have yourself a good one. Have yourself a good one, Pick Dogs fam. Catch you on Friday. Well, baseball's back. Everything's back.
That's right.
So, come Friday.
Come Friday. You as well. Rod Zawacky here on the drive to. All right, guys, we get my pick in a second. Let's get to the recap here as we're hitting the top of the hour. Chris was on Missouri Tigers college football over 9.5 wins. Kirk on the Grizzlies, lay the 3.5. Matt, Northwestern Wildcats under 4.5 wins. Wayne likes the Lakers money line. Joey on the Chargers make playoffs, plus 110. Rod and Arizona Cardinals over 7.5 wins. I'm going to be UCLA under 5 wins college football. I'm with Rod here on that one. I like the Arizona Cardinals over 7.5. When you keep that receiving core and Kyler Murphy healthy all at the same time, I think they can get to that 8th win there. Especially we're going to see the key there is Seattle without Pete Carroll. I think that's a big mistake there Seattle's made. Oh my goodness, what were you thinking? All right, we're getting to my pick here with UCLA under 5. I mean, again, this is a situation where Kelly just really was left the cupboard bare. It's a first year coach here for the Bruins. It's going to be very tough, especially first year coach without experience. Now going to face the Big Ten schedule. Now Oregon up there. You're going to face LSU. I know the road trip at Rutgers and Nebraska is not going to be easy. Home to Iowa is not easy. At Washington is not easy. Against USC is not going to be easy. Even facing Fresno State's not going to be easy for them, especially I think by that time of the season. After playing Washington, USC, and Iowa in back-to-back games, you get Fresno State. It's going to be a real tough. I think it's going to be really tough here for this UCLA team this year. So we'll be looking here at the Bruins to go under 5 wins in this first year, as they're just going to try to rebuild this team. It was a really tough season here coming up here for this Bruins. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs. When we get Christmas in July, best way to roll here, guys. Remember, when you're all sports pass will be reduced, and of course that you can use that promo code Pick at checkout and save 15% off all my premium plays. But that 1 year all sports pass is the way to go here, as it's reduced during Christmas in July. All right, we got you through the recap, guys. Can put in your show picks before we let you roll here. Remember, this will do it for this. So get your show picks in right now, and we'll read them off. This will do it for this edition of The Drive. We'll be back again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. Bring in our cappers for Pick Dogs and Sports Chat place. They'll get a place for in real time. Remember to always get started with that morning show at 10:30 a.m. each time of the week with Chris and Jay right now as Mitch continues his vacation. Don't forget the video series, Mitch's 7 Picks in 5 minutes, Pain Tools Show, roundtable discussion with professionals. The evergreen videos up there as well. Of course, Wayne and Chris on the WNBA. We've got Kirk with his MLB totals coming back on Friday. Also soccer coverage from Kirk. Wayne with his boxing. Joey with his NASCAR on Fridays. So check that out, guys. Ron Romanelli will resume his MLB rundown on Friday. And, of course, the Nerfies and Yerfies here from Brad will continue here on Friday as well. All right, that's going to do it. Let's take a look at our show picks for today here on the show. Let's see, we have Ron Crawford goes KBO, Korean baseball, with Hanwha minus 130. That's from Kirk. I'm sorry, that's from Ron. That's from Ron Crawford here. Let's see if we've got any more here. Fernando is going 2-piece combo. No soda. I like that one. No soda. Inter Miami versus Tron likes Inter Miami money line minus 140. With Juarez and Pumas, Unam over 2.5 goals. 2-piece combo there. About plus $2 for Fernando. Soccer mixing in MLS with Liga MX from our man Fernando here. Also, Gary Cleaner likes the Wings here plus 4.5 points. Rod gave you Atlanta playing the 4.5. Houston Dynamo money line and Wings team total under 86.5. Tyler Bachmeyer recommending a WNBA teaser in there with Wings and the over in the Fever and Wings game. There you go. Rod likes Atlanta minus 4.5. Fever and team total over 91.5 tonight from Rod. Over Fever from Clyde Drexler. Wings money line from Clyde Drexler as well. All right, this will be your last call for your show picks. Thunder money line here from Clyde Drexler. And Ron Crawford here, LA Galaxy at minus 110. All right, we got all your picks in, guys. That's going to do it. Let's bring in our crew from tonight. Goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening.